Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this Chaos Zero Nightmare video. So in this Chaos Zero Nightmare video, we're going to summarize Narja's skill kit reviewed in the EN livestream and discuss about our first impressions for this unit so far. So first of all, Instinct Controller, these are the different cards available for her. So looking at this kit itself, I actually went through the Epiphanies and I think that she's going to be a Mika replacement. In a sense, I think for Chaos clears, because she has quite a bit of heals and her stat is actually defense based. So defense based means that her heals are going to heal a bit more and she's going to be a much better unit to keep your unit alive because of the veracity keyword right here. So veracity or veracity right here. So this is one of the keywords that boost your damage or heal you depending on your HP amount, which we'll cover in a little bit. There's also another keyword which is predation right here. So we'll talk more about these two keywords for Narja in a little bit, but these are the different skill kit. So it seems like she's a unit that you're going to build a bit of defense on. So more defense equal better survival and also better heals. So could be a very good chaos unit. And because like another reason for that is because she has a lot of unique tech. So okay, so for the next part I had to zoom out a little bit because I realized that being very zoomed in, you guys might not be able to see everything. So we'll start off with the very first card, Shackles of Hunger right here. So this is a defense-based damage card with attunement for veracity. So veracity is one of the key buff that this unit is able to provide. So when hitting with an attack card, 40% fix heal. If health is 50% or higher, you get a damage boost right here. So you can get up to 30 stacks and every time you activate the effect, so whenever you use an attack card, you consume one charge. So this is a pretty good damage booster if you are really healthy, and could be really useful in the event you need that additional fix heal to survive. Although 40% fix heal I think might not sound a lot, but if you're able to build up a lot of veracity stack to either heal a lot or get that 30% boost per card, then it could be quite big. Especially when you can actually time your attack card to get like this plus 30% onto multi-hit cards to actually get even more boost. So it is actually quite a good buff, I'll say. Like it's flexible, allowing you to survive better or do more damage if you're healthy. So that's that. So looking at the Epiphanies, Shackles of Hunger. Okay, let me just check and make sure I have the words so you guys can see everything. Okay, so for this part, so first of all, the very first boost increases the hit count and also the attunement count. So 6 veracity. Second card, Shackles of Hunger. So this is a decrease in the hit count, but at the start of the turn, if veracity was activated 3 or more times in the previous turn, move to hand. I think this is good if you want to filter this card from your deck and maybe draw it back out consistently without like consuming the draw chance. So if the card actually moves from the discard pile, it does not benefit from the attunement ability. So this one is tried and tested. Attunement must be drawn from the draw pile. So if this card moves from the discard pile, you don't actually get the veracity. So I think it will more be used for its ability to come back to your hand whenever you activate veracity. So that would be what I predict to be the case. Because like, if not, I don't see why you will go for this one. Because even if it moves to your hand from the discard pile, you're not going to get the veracity. But then it's also a 0 cost card. So there's a very high chance it's going to just fit into all the 0 cost card combo decks in general. So we shall see how it goes. But this card is, I'll say, something which has a lot of potential for combo because of how it can move back to your hand whenever you consume your veracity charge, and then the move back does not consume the draw chance. So what this means is you actually personally am not going to jam your hand with this card draw. So very, very good stuff here. Third upgrade, increase in max hit count. So this is just a pure damage move at this point. Depends on how much damage she can do. This could be good. 7 hits is actually big, by the way. But 60% is... Okay, 60% if you have this veracity boost. This is 30% damage amount by attack card. So I'm assuming this procs per attack card. So not per hit. So if it's per attack card, then 30% times 7 might be big. If you're able to stack up veracity easily. So fourth ability, Shackles of Hunger. Decrease veracity by max 5. I think it's decreased the max stacks by 5, right? Plus 40% damage amount to the next used attack card for each amount decrease. Okay, English is a little bit weird, but I'm thinking what it means is for every max stack decrease, we get plus 40% amount, so it's plus 200%. I'm assuming that is what it is. So we'll do more testing on that. If it's that, then this could be an insanely good booster, by the way. It's just plus 200% damage amount. It's quite big. And if you have 5 decrease, you get 3 predation. So we'll talk about predation in a little bit. And then the last one is a shield, decrease velocity by max 3, repeat for each amount decrease. So this helps you survive better. I guess looking at this, I will probably either pick number 1 for more veracity stack, or number 4 for like a very big damage boost. And if her damage output is good, I think that 3 is not a bad idea. Yeah, and I think for very combo-centric decks that don't want cards to break their hand, 2 might be a card that you want to go for. Because this one just keeps on coming back to your hand without consuming the draw turn, if you're able to fulfill the condition. So it's actually quite a consistent card. So that's that. Shackles of Hunger. Pretty straightforward damage with some veracity boost. Okay. Next skill. Bottomless Hunger. The next 2 times veracity is activated. Decrease cost of 1 random card in hand by 1. For 1 turn. Okay. I think this one is hard to judge. Might have some combos with Chizuru, I guess. Because like Chizuru has a lot of like multi-hit cards as well. So Chizuru plus Narja proccing veracity easily can maximize the decrease in cost. So that's that. Let's take a look at the Epi upgrades. 3 veracity, okay. Next 2 times veracity, decrease in cost. So you get more veracity there. Decrease cost of 2 rank card in hand by 1. Okay. So this is just decrease in cost for the second upgrade. So the third one is a unique upgrade. When veracity is activated 3 times in 1 turn, decrease cost of 1 random card in hand by 1 until use. So you can only use this once per turn. I mean, if I were to choose for the Chaos run for farming, I think the unique one is actually pretty good. Although in terms of like maybe bossing or boosting, it's not the most spectacular, but unique tech is always going to be really good for Chaos runs, especially on a healer like Narja right here. So like we can easily just replace Mika at this point, because with this you already have 2 unique techs. So there's 1 more below, so we'll talk more about it. And then for the 4th upgrade, for 1 turn, 100% defense-based damage. Okay. I mean, for this one, plus defense-based damage, Narja is defense-based. I think there's quite a few units that are defense-based as well. So all the defense-based carries. Oh, wait. Could be a good partner with Magna. All the defenders, yeah, all the defenders. Khalib and Magna could be good options because they are also defense-based. Interesting. Full defense team, and then you have Narja with this buff, but it's only for 1 turn. So I guess it's like a very specific defense-based combo. 100% is big. So if it's a multi-hit defense-based card, then this boost is actually substantial. The 5th one, lead 7 veracity. For 1 turn, each time veracity is activated, plus 40% damage amount to the next new time. Okay. I mean, this will be slightly challenging without AP support, because either you have if you have a very high multi-hit move that maybe, this could be used to combo with this, right? Like in a sense, you want a card that reduces your veracity or activates the veracity buff quickly. But I think it's per card. So activating this multiple times to massively boost your ultimate. Mealtime is the ultimate over here. So could be an option. But looking at this, I think the most simple upgrade I would choose will probably be number 3, just for the unique tag. And also the number 1 with just 3 veracity for more veracity stack, so that we get like consistent heal and damage. There could be some combo potential for this one, for the 4th upgrade over here. So that's for Bottomless Hunger. Okay. Voluntary Control. If veracity is fewer than 6 stacks, gain 6 veracity. If 6 or more stacks, you get predation. So for predation, if you're in a veracity state, you plus 80% damage amount dealt by attack cards. Okay, so this is a much bigger boost. So predation is the plus 80% boost. So for this one, for the Epiphany, so for the first one, you get more veracity stack and more predation stack. If Mealtime is in draw pile, you draw it. If in graveyard, 3 morale for 1 turn. Okay, so I think this one has... Okay, we have to take a look at the Mealtime ability first. So that we can evaluate all the Epiphany upgrade for the Mealtime side. So Mealtime is the ultimate move. You have Unique as well as the Retain. If Veracity is increased, you decrease the cost by 1. So this card starts at 6 cost and add plus 30% heal amount until you use the card. So up to 10 stacks. Okay. So defense-based damage to all enemies, heal 120% and 4 predation. So it's I'll say in most cases a heal with damage boost, some AoE damage coverage. I personally don't think that 190 defense-based damage to all enemies are going to be big. But then, considering the fact that in the previous few cards, there are a few defense-based damage boosts as well as some Mealtime boosts, there could be a potential this is a big damage card when used after all the buffs from the previous cards. So that's with regards to Mealtime. So ultimate, okay, Predator's hunting method, 10 Veracity, defense-based damage. If Mealtime is in graveyard, you get 5 predation, so a massive boost for the other units. Okay, interesting. So that's for Mealtime. So coming back to this card, this allows you to always draw your Mealtime from the draw pile, right? And get plus 60% from the morale for 1 turn. Okay. Third card, for 2 turns, each time action count of the target is decreased, you get 1 Veracity. Hey, this is actually big against certain units, especially if they are the kinds that actually, resets their action counter every single time they use the action. You get to build a lot of Veracity, so you can actually spam your cards, right? Even if their action counter don't get reset, because even if they attack you, you do have this Veracity heal. Pardon me for my throat. So some phlegm actually came out. So this Veracity helps to keep you alive when the action count of the target is like decreased, right? So action count decrease, you actually get damaged by the boss or the monsters, and that is where you might need this heal from Veracity to keep you alive. And it's for 2 turns. So it's more sticky by nature. Okay. There's the unique tag, another one. So this one is 10 Veracity. Select 1 attack cards. 1 predation each time that card is moved to hand. Oh. This is actually pretty strong. And there's actually 2 unique cards. So each time a basic attack card inflicts hit, 1 Veracity plus... Ooh! Okay. This is sick. There's actually a build for Chizuru, which is a basic attack build. Right? You spam a whole bunch of like the basic card and then you just slash the opponent from there. Hey, this is actually a big boost. I got a good feeling that Narja might be a good partner for Chizuru because like that attack spam buffs up like your Chizuru's damage amount and helps to keep you alive. And then like from all the multi-hits that Chizuru is able to offer, all this boost to those cards will make Chizuru's damage output increase much more because of all these basic attack boosts over here. So that's that. And you also get this Veracity, so it means that the Veracity actually sticks around, right? So you are definitely guaranteed that Veracity stack for that consistent boost. So this is actually good for those basic card spamming units. Okay. The fourth one is interesting. You just get 10 stacks straight up. So the thing about the fourth one is 10 stacks is just 10 stacks of heals or buffs. It's a lot more straightforward. And you do get predation every time that card is moved to hand. So if there's a way to consistently... Okay, so I think the best case scenario would be, for example, I use this card, I buff up Ecstasy, for example, and then I keep on drawing Ecstasy back with my like confiscation, for example. That's one way to consistently move the attack card back to hand. And then you just get this predation buff each time that card comes back. And then you use Ecstasy. Ecstasy gets that predation plus 80% damage. So that's actually a big PP damage. So this is actually a quite powerful combo piece. If you have those big attack or multi-hit cards that can be moved consistently. So wow, this card is actually really strong. Okay, so looking at this, I think the last two seems really, really interesting. So we will actually try to test them out. And being unique means that, yeah, it makes your deck building a lot easier. So that's for voluntary control. So the last card with the Epi upgrade, Domain of Veracity. Okay, defense-based damage to all enemies. Increase tenacity damage taken off the target by 100% until their next ravage. Okay, so AP upgrade. Okay, increase in veracity count on ravage. Okay, for 2 turns, 100% defense-based damage taken by the target. So this boosts up the defense base damage build. Okay, when hitting a target for the next 5 turns, heal. I think this is slightly weak. 40% is a little bit on the low end. Unless there's game modes where we need a lot of heals. So that's that. For the 4th card, more defense-based damage to all enemies. If granted both veracity and predation, activate one more time. So this one multiply by 2. So if you have both. Then last upgrade, another unique upgrade. Each meal time is used, heal 200%. So that's for this card. I think this card is flexible in terms of, you know, which one to choose depending on the build that you are trying to go for. But from the looks of it, it seems like Narja's pretty flexible in terms of the Epiphany selection, because I think there's a lot of ways to build her. You can build her with like basic attack teams, like for massive boost. If it's a basic attack team that's defense based, there's so many ways to buff up the defense based damage, right? So that's one way I think she's gonna be quite good. And if her damage output is actually not bad, then like she could actually be a semi DPS as well, with all the heals and veracity and predation buff. So that's that. And from the looks of it, I think it's not very hard to build up the veracity stack. So that's one thing that I think is good. So it's actually quite easy to get multi stacks, and there are ways for you to actually trigger it multiple times or get multiple stacks with other cards combo. Okay, a very flexible unit, and she has one unique upgrade here. So 1 card, 2 card, 3 card, right? 3 card plus meal time, which is unique. So out of these 3 cards, right, if you just remove like Shackles of Hunger and Bottomless Hunger, I mean, if you just remove like voluntary control, oh no, wait, if you get unique here, you get unique here. One more, you just need to remove Shackles of Hunger, and yeah, dude, she makes your copy of cards so much easier as a support for the Chaos as well. Dude, she looks so strong for Chaos or for farming in general. That's actually a really good start. And she has a lot of builds to actually make different carries or different team archetype work. So that's another very interesting mechanic based off the kit. She's going to be quite a strong Chaos character from what I can see of the abilities. Yeah, very flexible, heal buff, and you know, you can cater the epiphanies of your runs according to the team you're trying to build or the final deck build you want to run in your Chaos runs. So that's that. Very good stuff. So these are her potentials. So there's a defense buff. There's also a crit chance or crit damage buff right here. So the usual. The more important one is the unique stat upgrade, which gives you plus 10% damage amount to veracity if her defense is greater than 300. So plus 20% damage amount to predation. So this will boost the buff that predation is able to offer. So that's that. Pretty big. Probably need a lot of defense on her as a primary stat. And maybe the two set defense boost. So these are her egos in terms of the different one discussed just now. I think the big one would be the veracity decrease has a 25% chance to gain 1 veracity. I think depending on how fast veracity is consumed in the deck, this is definitely massive because like it just auto refills at a 25% chance. So that's that. Predation, okay, this mealtime predation increased by 2 is big. It allows 2 more cards to get the 80% buff, but it depends on the build or the team that you're running with. But in most cases, it should be good because it's 2 more stack of massive damage buff. Okay, so this E3 over here gives you more boost for your predation. Okay, so more damage to predation. So the predation will be the big buff for her to max, like to greatly increase your damage output because it's plus 80%, and then you are able to increase it with like other upgrades like your potential as well as your ego over here. So that's that. So I guess she's a better version of Ray. Now that I think about it, she's a combination of, I think she's more Ray replacement than anything else. Yeah, she's much stronger on the healing side, and she's also much stronger on the damage side based off the card. And she's also more flexible with more unique tags. So, okay, probably a Ray replacement, I guess. Okay, and last but not least, Gaia right here. So this was discussed a few days back. So this is the confirmed stat line. Combatant defense increased by 8 to 16%, okay? Plus defense-based damage for assigned combatants' instinct cards. And when using a unique attack card of the assigned combatant with original cost of 6, plus damage to all allies. So Ego skill, defense-based damage, draw one of these unique attack cards. So I think this is a very, very niche card to Narja. But as a support, I don't know. Although this plus 20% amount is not bad, but you have to actually use this card, right? You have to use Mealtime, because like looking at this deck, there's only one card that costs 6 or more. So you have to use Mealtime at least once to get this on. So I don't know. It seems like a very niche support, but has a very cool character design. So that's that with regards to Narja. So generally speaking, she's gonna be a way better version of Ray, I guess. Way more flexible, way more unique tags, with more heals and like decent amount of damage boost of Veracity. So the only question is, how easily is Veracity consumed? And how easy it is to build up the stacks for Veracity based off the different team combos that you're trying to use her with. So that will be the key pointers to look out for. But overall, looking like a really, really good Chaos Dungeon unit because of the flexibility as well as the ease of card copying in general. So that's pretty much it for this video. Very, very good unit. I'll be definitely pulling for her tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. We'll be doing a few deck testing with her and then discussing about more performance-related issue once we have our hands on this unit. So this is it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye, guys.